welcome back to another at-home science experiment. Today we have a really fun experiment. We are going to be making soda straw rockets, and you really don't need a whole lot of materials for this. All you need is an empty soda bottle with its cap. You need 2 straws. One has to be a little bit thicker than the other, so they're different sizes, and then also some tape. And I will make a note here that an adult needs to be drilling a hole in the top of the bottle cap. So if you have a drill that can do this, that's awesome, but if you don't, that's okay. I will have an alternative to that. As you watch the video, you will see that. So once you have all of this together, we are ready to get started.
Okay, so the first step here is to gather everything that you need. And so I have my empty Coke bottle and I have 2 straws, and you can see that the purple one is just a little bit thicker than the pink one. You want to make sure it can fit right over top of that. And then I also have some tape. So make sure you have all of this.
And the next thing you want to do is drill a hole in the middle of your bottle cap. And it's important that an adult does this part because it's obviously very tricky and dangerous. So an important part to remember about this is that you want it to be the exact size of your smaller straw so that it fits in perfectly and doesn't fall down or have any wiggle room. So make sure you are doing that. And if you do not have a drill, an alternative for this is to use one of the Kool-Aid juice bottles that already has the hole on top, pictured here. If you do this, though, you will just need to also have some Play-Doh or modeling clay to keep it in place because it will be a little bit too big for it as is. So go ahead and pause and do this.
And once you have your hole drilled into the top of your cap, right in the center, the thing that you want to do next is push your smaller or thinner straw through that hole. And again, to reiterate, you can see that it fits perfectly. There's not a lot of wiggle room within it and not a lot of air that can get out because it's the perfect size for the straw. So make sure you're doing your best to make it the perfect size for whatever size straw you're using. And I just pushed it about halfway through, and then you are ready to go for your next step. And the next step is to take your remaining straw or your thicker straw and close up one end of it so that no air gets out of one side. So I did this by using tape. Just tape it over the opening. You can also do it by filling the hole in with modeling clay or Play-Doh, but you can see that this side is open just like normal and one side has to be closed. So go ahead and do this. And after that is taped up or filled in some way, you're just going to slide it right over top of the straw that's already inside of your bottle.
So now you are ready to use your soda straw rocket, and what I did was made a little homemade target, so you can do this too if you'd like, and you can just squeeze the bottle and aim, and it's your rocket. Our soda straw rockets are a great way to see Newton's third law of motion in action. Newton's third law states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So as you squeeze the bottle, the air is forced out through the smaller straw and pushes on the closed end of the larger straw. The resulting force is that the larger straw gets launched through the air. The book that I recommend to pair this experiment with is called Rosie Revere, Engineer, and this is by Andrea Beatty, and her name might sound a little familiar to you because she also wrote Iggy Peck, Architect, and Ada Twist, Scientist, which are some of our other favorite books. So this one is all about engineering, which is perfect because we engineered our own rockets out of the soda bottles today. But if you're interested in that book, please check that out. If you like the other ones, you will definitely like this one. But otherwise, I hope that you guys really enjoyed this and that you have a great week, and I will see you next time.